lovely sunny morning here today. I think now that we've got the bathroom and engine bay area quite clear, I'm going to work towards the back of the boat, just because when I have my children here, I need to kind of leave this space at the front where I'm sat now in some form of livable space, in that they can sit down and watch a movie or something whilst I'm working. So it's going to be quite tricky when the time comes that we've stripped as much as we can that way, and then we're going to have to come back and do this way, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So I think the plan for today is just to see how far I can get that away. There is a bunch of stuff that needs to come out, so I've got some bedding in there, I've got some other bits and pieces, some jackets, spare waterproofs, coats, that kind of thing, so they can probably all go home now, because they're not going to be needed here for the foreseeable. And yeah, just see how far we get, I think. Okay, so interestingly, in terms of water, we now have a little section there that's wet, so no obvious drippage, so that'll be good to be able to kind of figure out where that's come from. It could have very well come from over that side somewhere and run down under the ballast that's still under those bags there. We do have this section here, it's a little wet, which I am convinced is coming from this window. The bottom of this window here gets really wet, lets a lot of water in. But what I might do is just shut that window tonight and see what we're left with then tomorrow. But yeah, in terms of everywhere else, we're pretty good. There is a little dampness there, a tad there. Still pretty dry under the engine, and there is this has a little bit of wetness there, but that could be from there. So you can see the condensation here, so I don't know if that's a factor or if we actually do have some form of leakage going on. This section up here, I don't know if you can see it very well, but there is a strip that runs here, across there, down, and then across there, and it's like a whole section in the roof. For me, it makes sense that the roof panel had been cut out, obviously to crane in the engine at some point, but I don't know if we've maybe got some leakage from there. You can see that this is extremely wet. Is that condensation? Whoa, nearly dropped you there. Is that condensation, do we think? Or is that actual leakage? Not too sure. Let me know what you think in the comments if you've got any helpful tips or advice as to how we differentiate the two. All of the wood in this area was absolutely sodden. It was literally seeping out of the wood as we were crowbarring it off. As you can see, there's more here, which is directly in line with that drippy wet bit there. So yes, we'll see about that. So on to today's mission. Let's see what we can get out of here. I wanted to keep the door and the door frame, even if nothing more than as a template for when we put this all back together. So yeah, let's see what I can get out of here today, and if we can do some tidying up of all of this in here next. All right, having now got the mattress out and removed the section of the bed that's now over there, I'm going to keep hold of it for the time being because we're not exactly too sure what we're going to do in terms of a replacement, whether we want to just put that back in. Structurally it's quite sound, it's not damp, etc. However, you can see it is minging under here. It's extremely wet, there's lots and lots of water in here, so I don't know where that's coming from. I don't know if that is seeping down the inside of the walls. I don't know if it's something to do with this tank leaking, because it actually didn't work. We didn't have any heating or hot water on the boat, even after running the engine all day long. Don't know if that's a contributing factor to the fact that this is plumbed in. So if you see those two pipes that go from there, they actually do come out the other side down there and into the engine cooling system. So whether this has failed and that was contributing to the engine overheating, I don't know, or whether it's just because the skin tank wasn't doing its job, potentially. So yeah, I think we're going to take all of this out. I'm going to take it out carefully so that we can get an expert to look at it, because I have no idea what I'm looking at and whether it works or not. And then we maybe would look at salvaging that potentially. That we are going to put an LPG water heater in anyway. 2 small children, I haven't got time to be waiting for 2 or 3 hours to run the engine to get hot water if they need desperately to go in the shower, i.e. if they fall in the cut, which is very likely for my 2 children. So I'm going to crack on with taking the rest of this out, and then I'm going to start taking this mouldy old panelling down off the walls, off the ceiling, and see what we're left with. Getting there, we're getting there. Right, that is one ceiling panel down. There it is over there. So yeah, insulation's down, ceiling panels down. Came down pretty easy, to be honest. Although it's difficult handling an 8x4 sheet in such a small space on your own. However, it's down, so it's not looking too bad on the ceiling. Around that mushroom vent that was pretty manky and mouldy, we knew that that was going to be a bit of a problem there. But other than that, we're looking pretty good. So I'm just going to whiz that last little bit down. We know that it leaks up there by the hatch. So I need to get that sheet down anyway. Because that will be disgusting, but I need to move all this stuff from here, so that's kind of like where all of my bits of tools and stuff ended up. So yeah, making progress. Just need to get all of this insulation bagged up, get the wood off here now. Yeah, tidy up, make some more room, make some more mess.